It's May 25th here in our Southwest Ohio Zone 6B garden, and in this video we are going to harvest some of the cool weather crops to make room for the warm crops that are coming in right now.
While we're harvesting, I'll give some ideas and some inspiration about how I use the food in the kitchen to feed our family.
And I'll just talk about what we did to grow them. So let's get going. Well, let's start by getting this cauliflower. Look how massive this is. It looks so good. This variety is amazing, and that's actually been our favorite white cauliflower. And it's definitely ready to harvest. You can see right up here, it's got the florets are just starting to loosen slightly. So we definitely want to get this out of the ground. The thing with cauliflower is it doesn't produce any side shoots. So basically it'll produce one head. And at this point, this plant is done. So we're gonna get it completely out of the ground. And then, you know, the leaves and stuff, they are edible, but we've got more than enough kale and other things that are slightly more tasty than that. So I think that will be a chicken treat. So let's get this harvested. Look at this, it looks so good. So other tips as far as cauliflower goes, the main thing is just getting it in early enough. So we like to start these mid-February, try to plant them out early April, weather permitting. Lots of times we have frost cloth on them initially, but really we're about to get into the heat, and so you want it to have time to make a big head before that heat comes. So
probably the easiest way that we eat cauliflower is roasted in the oven at 350, about 25 minutes, olive oil, salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. Oh, and a little bit of lemon juice. It's so good, but my favorite way to cook cauliflower is to make aloo gobi, which is an Indian dish that involves cauliflower, potatoes, sometimes tomatoes, and cumin, turmeric. It's the yellow kind of potato cauliflower dish that you can get in an Indian restaurant. A little more involved, so good. And you know, we've made cauliflower crust pizza, which is good, not as good as my pizza crust pizza, but even plain. This cut up plain, dipped in hummus with your lunch or just as an afternoon snack, has so much more flavor than those sad vegetable dishes that you get at the grocery store.
All right, well, let's talk about broccoli now. Well, I guess before we talk about broccoli, just really quick, this bowl I carved myself. So if you're questioning where do I buy a bowl like that, unfortunately, I don't know. And they take me way too long. So no, I don't sell them. I'd probably have to sell them for $10,000 to make it actually worth it. Let's talk about broccoli now. So we've got two varieties of broccoli, and they're basically all ready to go. The florets are just starting to kind of open a little bit. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get these out. Now I'm not gonna squash the leaves down on the broccoli like I did with the cauliflower, because you can actually keep the plants alive and we'll get some side shoots. In fact, I'll show you that here in just a second with some broccoli that we harvested before. But these are the heads of broccoli. Timing is the same as far as the broccoli and the cauliflower, in that we start them about mid-February indoors and then plant them out around April 1st, weather permitting. As far as varieties, this variety here that I'm harvesting is Emerald Crown, and it seems like it is just a little bit later than Green Magic, which we just harvested before. But there's another head of broccoli there. And then just the last thing about broccoli, one of the things you could see, there's some hoops here. One of the main pests of broccoli are the cabbage butterflies or worms. They're those little white butterflies that come, you'll see them kind of fluttering around your garden. And these plants do need some sort of protection for that. And unfortunately, the dog is not good protection. What you need is some sort of netting over the top. These hoops also allow us to put frost cloths over the beds in the really early season, because we get some pretty cold temperatures in early May.
Okay, so Peter mentioned the side shoots from the broccoli. This is amazing to me that he grows these plants, harvest a big head like you've seen, and then a week later we have these massive side shoots that are, you know, you buy these at the grocery store and they're $3.99 a pound, and these plants just continue giving us broccoli heads, and they are fantastic. So eventually it'll get too warm for this plant to keep producing good little side shoots, but for now we continue harvesting until the season's done. So while I love cauliflower, I really love broccoli because I feel like there's a little bit more I can do with it than cauliflower. One of my family's favorites is I call it a broccoli pesto. Now yes, the basil gets heated because of the heated broccoli, but it makes a really good sauce that you can put on a pasta, you can make it creamy, you could put it on pizza, so that's definitely one thing. Honestly, steamed broccoli is fantastic, a stir fry, or cooking the way we cook our cauliflower, which is roasted in the oven, salt, pepper, olive oil, lemon juice, and Parmesan cheese. Perfect.
We're at the garlic bed, and the garlic isn't quite ready, but what are ready is something almost as good. These little garlic scapes, which is basically the flower stalk of the garlic. And they taste like garlic. They're almost like we were just talking about, almost like a garlic asparagus, like a garlic flavored asparagus. As far as the growing of the garlic, we grow hardneck garlic varieties here. They are more hardy in the cold than the softneck, which is generally what you get at the grocery store. And the hardneck varieties are the thing that are going to make these scapes. In fact, the hardneck is the flower stalk going all the way down to the bulb down there. Once you see the scapes on here, generally you do want to remove them because they are taking some energy from the plant in order to make the flower, and then it's going to be just a few weeks before these are ready to harvest. You can see on ours, we can already see some yellowing of the leaves. Timing as far as when to harvest the garlic is a little tough, especially if you're getting a lot of rain. If it's really rainy, then we tend to harvest earlier because you don't want it to rot underground. If you've got some dry weather, you can usually let it sit a little bit longer. As far as timing garlic, you plant it in the fall. So we actually planted these in November, and then you're harvesting, you know, just a few weeks after this, usually in June for us here in Ohio.
So I think this is our third year harvesting garlic scapes, so I actually don't have a lot of recipes that use them. They're not a very common thing. I don't think I've ever seen them at a grocery store around here. So if you have any ideas that you think are great for using them in the kitchen, please share. Like Peter mentioned, we think of them as a cross between garlic and asparagus, so we can cook them in olive oil, salt, and pepper, and we've heard that they make a good addition to pesto, which we love. But if you have a specific idea or recipe, please share in the comments because I am not very knowledgeable about this thing we grow.
As far as strawberries, that's another crop we've been harvesting right now. We've got two 24-foot beds of strawberries. And one thing I would say we didn't do that great here is we didn't thin them very well. They're very thick in here. Strawberries take a lot of maintenance because they just send out runners everywhere. We've also had a ton of rain. As anyone who's followed us has known, we've just been dealing with rain for the past week. So one of the issues that we're having is because of all that rain, I'll get a little closer and show you this, but there's a mildew that can come on strawberries, and when they're not thinned, you're gonna get a lot of water down there. So you really have to kind of harvest them every day. We haven't been able to do that because it's been so rainy, but they are super tasty. And we grow mostly the June bearing variety. We found that they do a little bit better here than the ever bearing variety, just because no matter what type of variety, they don't really like super hot weather. And so we've got a lot.
So one of the reasons why we have so many strawberries is because I love making strawberry jam, and you need a lot of strawberries to make a lot of jam. And we probably go through 12 to 20 half pints throughout the year. So strawberry jam is the main thing I like to make. The other thing I love about growing this many strawberries is I'm not spending $5.99 for a tiny little carton at the grocery store to go home and find that my strawberries are already half rotten.
This bed's pretty much all direct seeded. So I've got radishes up here. These radishes are getting way too big though. So we obviously don't eat quite enough radishes. So these usually get kind of woody. In fact, I'll cut this one in half and kind of show you that. We'll see. Yeah, actually not too woody. Usually you can see kind of some areas of air gaps in here when it shows, when it's getting kind of woody and not as good. Other thing we have is this lettuce. This is what we just kind of call cut and come again lettuce. Still very, very soft. The only real issue is the rain. In that down low, we're starting to get just kind of a little bit of brown, kind of rotted type lettuce. So it will take just a little bit more washing than normal. We've got all of this dill here. I mean, just a ton of dill. I don't think we'll ever go through this much dill, but I think it'd be nice to dry it. So basically this whole bed, including the cilantro right up there, we kind of just need to kind of mow it all down and then let it either come back up, or, you know, like this mesclun mix is kind of like a spicy lettuce. This one's already going to flower, so we'll probably take that one out completely. Well, that about does it for our harvest here on May 25th. It sounds like, because it's been our one, you know, not raining day in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks,
yeah,
that pretty much every single person in Ohio is on their mower right now.
Or in their plane.
Or in their plane. So I apologize if the sound was a little bit crazy, but we're so excited about all of this food. We got a lot of work to do.
And I have to figure out what I'm cooking for the next 2 weeks.
If you guys have any recipe ideas with these types of foods, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. Happy gardening, everyone.